Oh man, my name's SushiKishi, and we're gonna be playing some MindMaze tonight. I think I got the echo taken care of there. That's not my fault. Sorry. And for the topic Bid War, we are gonna be playing with the sports hobbies and pets category. So all the fun stuff we'll be getting to do. So I'm gonna pick my player name here, and let's go over very quickly the story of MindMaze. I write this big red question mark. Long story short, if you want to read the text, you can read it on the screen. Long story short, we're in this cursed maze, and this maze has been pulling in people from all sorts of different times and places and eras. And the only way to escape the maze is to move from room to room to find the exit. The only way you can open the door is to answer the multiple choice questions correctly. And if you happen to get stuck while we are playing, and I'll just back out just very quickly for those of you who've never heard of MindMaze before, because you're maybe before your time. We're playing in Microsoft Encarta 98. You can see I've got my Windows 98 virtual machine running here. I can minimize it. You can see this lovely 640 by 480 desktop. All the cool icons and stuff. This digital encyclopedia asset, a lot longer than I thought it did, well into the 2000s even. And it had like online features so you could update it year over year. It was very, very, very high tech for the time. And this is just a little trivia game to go with it. You know, when you're supposed to be studying or researching for your essays. That's something for you to waste time with in the school library. We're going to pick level 4 so we can get the most points possible. We're looking for 20,000 points in the sports hobbies pets category. And time's going to start when I click on any of these fantastic doors here. Let's go with door number 4. 3, 2, 1, go! And breed of working dog, that's going to be... Nope, the Great Pyrenees. I just had this one. I was warming up too. Now for the sports hobbies pets category, this is the one that I've worked with the most. Was a real Capablanca. So if you don't get a good chance to really read and see the questions, and that's because I have played this category quite extensively, even though I just double bonked there. That's going to be the Borzoi. So if you hear me like half read out a question and then just click on something, that is why. Now, just generally speaking, if you decide to read the question a little bit. There we go. Dive into the MindMaze yourself, and you happen to get stuck, and you don't want to just memorize all the questions and answers. Some of these people around here, the NPCs, you could talk to them. They'll give you some interesting dialogue. Kind of, again, set the story such as it is for a pack-in minigame for a digital encyclopedia. American figures, click button. Here we go. Next. Twist. Nope, get caught. Also, you can see next to all the different options is that little icon that's a stack of books. If I click on that, it'll actually pull up the article in the encyclopedia. So instead of just, say, guessing and testing or memorizing the answers, or just getting them wrong like I just did there, it's Briard. You can actually read through the articles and do some research and learn as you go. Let me try not to breathe into this microphone like I've used one before. Back it up. This down arrow, by the way, I know it's funny talking about something like this in what is essentially a point and click game, but the hitbox on that down arrow is terrible. It is absolutely terrible. It's only like the left half of the icon. Right, read the question just enough to know which are the two choices you're gonna pick. There we go. And you can see I'm actually at the end of the maze here, and it's like, oh, that's great, we're done, right? No, not quite. Because you can see in the bottom right corner, I've got 3,800 points. That's not enough. I need 20,000 points to actually break the curse. Stop bonking. Come on. Read the questions. Enough to guess right on the first go. That's a buzz. Yeah. And we're very close to the exit, so I'm just going to go right to the exit. and we'll worry about racking up points in the next floor. That's backgammon. It's the oldest board game in recorded history. At least in the time of Encarta 1998. So if some of this information is outdated, that is why. Herman Killebrew is the American professional baseball player, the only one mentioned in the Sports Hobbies Pets category, level 4 at least. I don't think I finished my thought earlier, but if you do decide to go through this and play for yourself and pick up some of the trivia, there are some hints and things to help you if you're just blindly guessing and you don't want to go do all that reading. One of which is, especially if it's asking about somebody who is a famous English person, they generally tend to have like a sir, a lord, or some sort of title in their name. And that's one way you can narrow down your options. For any question about somebody who is a famous Russian, you can usually just pick by character length the 2 longest answers, and it just so happens that that's going to get you through almost all of those sorts of questions, with the exception of the one question in this category about a Russian chess grandmaster Karpov. That is one of the 2 exceptions I found playing through this. That's a Borzoi. Next, breed of non-sporting dog. Yeah. Good. Nice. Nope, curling. Button. And a lot of times if there's one, especially for names, if there's in your 4 choices, if there's one name that's exceptionally longer than the others, either because they have many titles or you just have a longer name, that tends to be the answer. They don't necessarily do a great job of disguising some of those. So you can kind of narrow down your options even if you don't really know all the answers. It's Briar again. The Sports Hobbies Pet categories also has the shortest question database, so you're not seeing things where you are seeing some of these questions multiple times already. The other topics tend not to repeat nearly as quickly. Visa? There we go. Let's see, name of the lawn game, that's Croquette. Game, that's no, Fantan. Australian catalog. There we go. Now I know I'm not gonna have quite enough to finish it here. Hold on. Like I'm not gonna get the 20,000 points by the time I reach the end. So I'm actually gonna come back here and pick up some extra points by going what is definitely not the right way. I mean, I can use these matches to see if I wanted to, because I don't think that incentive was met. Oh, this actually is the right way. So I'm gonna actually go the other way. We're gonna go the other wrong direction and pick up some of these points. Oh, that's Karpov. But that is what the matches do for that incentive would have been not being able to use this mini map. But in some situations, it's actually okay if you end up getting a little bit waylaid anyway. Just because you're waiting for 20,000 points. Now, what you don't want to do is finish, say, this floor at 18,000, 19,000 points. I get to the next floor and it's a long floor and I'm nowhere near the exit. And then I end up finishing my run with 25,000 points because that's just 5,000 points that, you know, I don't get a reward for that. I don't get anything for that other than losing time, unfortunately. Charles Henry Goren. You. Oh, down one more. We'll just finish up. Bonus content over here on this floor. I gotta hit this down here a bunch. Down. Dog. Great Pyrenees. Bum. I'm going right back up. All the way down. Left. Kamblaka. See, that's a nice little chunk of points there. I didn't even read the question. Didn't even read the answers, I should say, because I knew it's either Kino or Whist from that list. I don't think Tarot's the answer to any question in this this answer set. Or this question set, I should say. That's cricket. Oh, that's curling again. Figure skater thick button, let's go. Next. Right. Boom. I do wish you could kind of use the keyboard, because that would be so much faster than clicking around. Baccarat. 9 or 19's Baccarat. Baccarat. One of the two. Or a touchscreen. Clearly for this highly competitive, fast-paced speed game, where everything's gonna come down to fractions of seconds and subframes, the best strategy would be to get a touchscreen. That's Fantan. Bum.
You naming just competitive competing in this game just brought to mind what drew you to the speedrun? Curious.
I don't really remember, but I was probably playing around in a virtual PC, trying to get some Windows 98 games to run. I remembered, oh yeah, there was that game over in an encyclopedia I used in middle school. That's probably all it was. And I said, oh hey, you can actually finish it. That's really what it was. Because I'm pretty sure as a kid, I never realized you could escape. I thought you were just scoring points and getting you'll get little medals in the corner.
Oh, but that you were just like stuck forever answering.
Yeah, I thought you were just stuck
answering questions in the maze.
You were just going for points.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I somehow missed this game as a kid. It's kind of fascinating.
Well, I know on most versions after 99, they hid the game. You could only access it by hitting Control-Z on the menu. It wasn't actually listed in the options or the menus or anything that it was still there.
Oh, weird.
They did
but
keep
yeah, like
updating the question database for it. They kept all the old questions in, but they did pepper in a couple of new ones.
So they were kind of actively updating that's
a little bit, yeah. And now you see what I did. As soon as I clicked on the steps, I looked at the score. I did that the wrong way around, because see, I'm 300 points short. If I had gone into one more room, we'd be done by now. But actually, we're pretty close to the exit here, so hopefully it won't take me too long. Got too trigger happy with the mouse. If I just needed to peek into the scoreboard.
I'm sure it didn't help distracting you with old trivia about this trivia game.
Go down. Uh-oh.
So are these all questions that you like just kind of spent time memorizing?
For sports hobbies and pets, yes. And then when I knew there was the bid word for the other topics, I was working on art and literature and the performing arts, because just like if I happen to watch Jeopardy, that's where I do poorly. So that's what I wanted to work on.
Yeah, that's smart.
That's Baccarat. And then I wasn't expecting it, then I saw all topics was listed. This is going to be time at the top of the steps, by the way. That's going to be time. So then I wanted to work on everything. Now, as simple as, and we don't even have music on this screen. We're going to get some fancy end of the game music here in a bit. As simple as you might think this game actually has at least 9 different endings. Now, you get to this room at 20,000 points when you finish the floor. You get this room every time. You talk to this NPC. What after? So congratulations, you completed a task for which you were summoned. The curse has been broken. We have you and your wealth of knowledge to thank. Residents, place a moment and then make your way to the throne room. The kings grant the subjects to thank you. You click through, and there's one of 9 different endings you're going to get on this box. But the first paragraph, again, is always the same. You enter the throne room filled with people. The king and queen are in their thrones. The other castle denizens have gathered in groups of 3 and 4, talking and drinking and laughing. King notices you, he clears your attention, good friends. Our rescuer is here, a strange one from another time. We must thank you for breaking. You get this every time. And then what changes at the end here? So let's see what we got this time. You enjoy the fine banquet that follows and are prepared to be sent back home by the sorceress. However, on the way to our chambers, the court alchemist stops you in the hall. I'm so glad I found you, he says. The king did not reward you sufficiently, in my opinion, and I intend to make up for his oversight. I have nearly perfected the formula for changing lead into gold, and when I am finished, I will give you bags of it to take home with you. Just stay around for a few more days. A week at the most. No more than a month, definitely. And a year at the absolute most, and I'm certain I'll have it. Yuan is off lost in thought, and you hurry to the sorceress to be sent home at last. I was actually hoping we get that one, because I thought the alchemist trying to turn your lead into gold for you was one of the more interesting ones. There's our happy music. And the first day of Speedrun Ragnarok 2022. Got a whole week of speedruns ahead of us, though. So thank you everybody for stopping by for the first day. Make sure you tune in for the rest of the event as well. And all the money we're donating is going towards Take This, which is a mental health awareness charity and organization, and perhaps the most visible thing, at least that I know them for, are the AFK rooms at conventions. I believe I've seen them at MagFest, and other anime and gaming conventions that give you a nice quiet place there at the convention, where you can go and have a safe place, a quiet place, so you don't have to leave the convention. Because I know when I go, I can never afford to stay at the hotel, the event hotel. So going all the way back to my room, like just that little thing of being able to find a quiet place at the event without having to go all the way back, that just for me is just that alone is worth it. But they do offer a lot of resources in those AFK rooms as well, for any mental health needs that may arise at those events. So it's a fantastic cause of support to do a lot of good work in the gaming, the anime, all these communities that we tend to be a part of. They do a lot of fantastic work.
That's great. I super appreciate that plug, especially hearing from somebody who's really experienced one of those rooms before. I was talking about them earlier, but yeah, that's really great to hear. And also appreciated your run was super interesting. Those questions did not look easy. I know you said for that category, you know most of them, but that like running the game in general seems pretty challenging. So it was pretty fun to watch. And yeah, like Sushi said, definitely this is the end of the night. Now we're running into sleep percent. Yes, sleep is important. Yes, I'm looking at you particularly, and also me, really. Let's be honest. And yeah, tune in tomorrow morning at roughly 9 a.m. Eastern time. That will start Gauntlet 4 into Racing Pitch, into Ultima 1. We've got incentives that are up for a number of these games. Definitely check them out when you put your donation in. And yeah, like Sushi said, we'll be here all week. So we're done today, but this is just really the beginning of things. And yeah, thank you so much for your time. I am Solaris. This is, of course, the end of my shift. You can find me again, by the way, 2 days from now. So Tuesday, I'll be hosting for the Final Fantasy IX race. The very end of that. That'll be super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a chill game. There are a lot of chill games coming up, really. I'm excited. But yeah, anyways, with that, we'll let y'all go.